real work is done is definitely by Mihaela. So thank you for those kind words, but Carol and I are in no doubt about our assistant-only status. Okay, so I have the great pleasure to introduce 6 readers who obviously are also writers and have written in this wonderful anthology. But we're going to start first with inviting Alex Plescan, if you would not mind, please just come and take a seat for a moment so I can say a couple of things, which then he might correct if I've got them wrong, of course. But I shall introduce him to you, and then I believe Alex is going to say a few words, but I also expect that he will read several of his poems from the anthology. And then after that, we will have another 5 writers up, and they will read their pieces one after the other. So, one could say a great deal about Alex's creative endeavours. They seem to be very broad to me, and also very specific too, some very interesting things. So here's a big set of generalisations, and he may be able to, as I said, correct me as we go on. But Alex Plescan is a Romanian-born writer and journalist who migrated to New Zealand. He publishes prose, poetry and essays, and may I just put in there that I so envy anybody who can do all those 3 things, because I think very few of us can, in both Romanian and in English. He's been involved in TV production, and his first theatrical project was with an adaptation of Roald Dahl's Matilda by a British team for a Romanian audience, the first such production of its kind. And it's at this point that I just wanted to give a little quote here from something else that he invented, since we're talking about new things. And I hope my French isn't great, so I might pronounce the words incorrectly. But Alex invented the concept of Algonaissance. Alex, can you pronounce it better for me?
I'm not French either.
You're not French either? Where is Anna Maria when you need her?
It should be Algonaissance, so I think you got it pretty well.
Okay, Smiranda would have been able to do it better for us. Thank you. Which, as opposed to Renaissance, signifies the alienation, this is a quote from Alex, I think, of the human mind and culture due to the humankind's gradual surrender to the self-inflicted advance of artificial intelligence. I feel we can relate to that. You may not agree with it, but you can relate to it. All right, a little more. More recently, Alex published in his country of birth, this is going between 2014 and 17, a trilogy of flash fiction, The Train Writer, Sandu, and You, a deconstructed non-linear novel. His current project is, I believe, a book for children and their parents, Bruno's Planet, written with his son and illustrated by Christina Silaki of Christchurch, New Zealand. Now, we wish to thank Alex very especially because he's come a long way, and we do very much value his contributions to Mihaela Christescu's Romanian and Australian anthologies, and as I said, especially appreciative of being here today. And now I'm going to let Alex take over, and I hope he will tell you a little bit more about himself, but also read a selection from Between Dusk and Dawn that he has written. Thank you very much, Alex.
Charming ladies and distinguished gentlemen, I'm surprised because I wanted to talk about Algonaissance and I didn't expect to destroy my introduction.
You can explain it now.
But first of all, because this is a bilingual event, I needed to decide which language I was going to use. And I figured out most of you are fluent in Australian, so maybe a few in Romanian, but I chose English. And I have to warn you that this is not going to be a necessarily pleasant or happy speech. But before that, every time I win an Oscar, I start my acceptance speech by thanking to those who contributed the most to my success. This time around, I thanked my younger sister, Mihaela Christescu there, who put me not into 1, not 2, but 3 editions of this anthology. Yes, because I'm going to be in the next one too. And I also must thank to Sue Crawford, who somehow did not kick me out of his books. So last night, as I was writing my notes between two and three glasses of Shiraz, in the plane that brought me all the way here from Christchurch, New Zealand, I was thinking, what should I be talking about? And of course, the easiest topic for anyone would be themselves. So I could talk about myself as a fake writer, an unlucky fisherman, a cancer survivor, a Romanian Kiwi, a fat, old, grumpy and bored man, a father of three, a husband of three, so not at the same time. So today instead I will be talking, as Sue had already spoiled it, about me as an inventor. As she said, I invented the concept of Algonaissance, which is opposite to Renaissance. If the Renaissance means rebirth, and it refers to a rapid and sustained growth in culture, science, and arts, based on learning and creativity, Algonaissance is exactly the opposite. The stage we are now witnessing in the evolution of the human mind is, unfortunately, Algonaissance. And it is involution rather than evolution. Algonaissance is the birth of the ugly and the dangerous. It comes from the old Greek word algos, which means pain, danger, horror, and the French naissance, meaning birth. When you travel by plane, like I did last night, sometimes you look out your window and you see how dusk and dawn coincide. You get light and darkness together. There is a line of separation which is not a clear-cut separation, a line or a band of interference called the terminator. The way our culture evolves is like the night slowly but surely is conquering the day. Spiritual inquisitive is being replaced by formal emptiness. As more and more of our tasks are being done by machines, we become more and more dependent on a technology we cannot control, but it controls us. We are told what to eat, what to do, what to watch, what to like, what to think, when to think, and do we really need to think anymore? Virtual morons teach our kids what is trendy and what is worth following. Being accepted these days doesn't mean that you are well educated, talented, or at least original. It simply means you follow the desirable success story on the right platform. If you don't get enough likes, you may as well kid yourself a loser. Well, following models is not new. Going viral is not new. Elvis went viral. The Beatles went viral. The difference is that today, algorithms choose for us. It is not our choice anymore. And the less educated we are, the less chance we have to choose for ourselves. And those algorithms are applied by machines. We start to think for themselves. And this is Algonaissance. It's a new type of inquisition. A few decades ago, when the internet had not yet been unleashed, and when computers were as big as this room and as smart as my phone charger, a science fiction writer came up with this short story in which the whole humanity wanted to know whether there is a supreme being. All the computers in the world got connected. Remember, there was no internet. Great idea. All the computers in the world got connected to enhance their power of thinking. And when the question was asked, is there a God? The machine answered, yes, now there is.
Yeah.
The God whose ascension we are now helping is the God of Algonaissance. Make no mistake, this is not our cultural God. This is not our spiritual God. We are replacing history, creativity, and the human spirit itself with monotony, stupidity, and even criminal intent. The algorithms know the size of your underwear, the meals you dislike, who is your closest friend, and used by others. These algorithms may even know the security code of your credit card. It strikes me that in this audience we have a few distinguished ladies and charming gentlemen who are involved with arts, literature, music, culture in general, and creativity in special. I urge you to consider the reality of this age, and unlike the majority who is willingly accepting to lower their IQ for a few more followers online, I expect you to warn others alike you and alike us of the dangers of this Algonaissance. You all have voices, you all have platforms. Maybe we should spread the word. We live, you see, in a story with no plot. And very soon we will be living in a story with no author. All is designed to feed the algorithm. And the algorithm for the moment is feeding its designers, feeding them with money. Yet when the machines will take over completely, money will be of no value to them. I am not here before you to preach anything. Algonaissance is real, and you can feel it. It invades you every day, and it takes over your personal decisions. Do you know why I wrote my notes for this speech on paper rather than using my shiny flash portable device? It is because every time I try to, say, search for a synonym or an idea, every time I try to express something a bit more complex than the writing on a roll of toilet tissue, my browser figures out that I must be an imbecile who needs help and takes over my screen with an advert for some software that helps you write grammatically correct. They want to edit my words. They want to teach me how to write. Imagine what they do to the innocent. I shall end my unnecessarily long contribution to this event by giving you two more examples of Algonaissance in action. Most of you as authors would be familiar with the concept of copyright. Let me explain how copyright works in Algonaissance. When my daughter turned 9 a few months ago, we organized her party on ice at a skating rink. There were about 10 kids, mainly girls, moving around, some skating better, some not so much. And the music playing at the venue was ABBA. I recorded a short video, which I posted on Facebook for my mother to see her granddaughter. My mother lives back in Europe. As soon as I posted this video, it was removed from Facebook. I had breached the copyright. the background music was ABBA, and Facebook was making no money from that song, Mamma Mia. Last week, in the town of Christchurch, New Zealand, which is my home of 20 years, a delusional extremist assassin killed 50 people and injured another 50. All this was streamed live on Facebook from a camera mounted on a helmet on this individual's head. In a few minutes, this recording of innocent slaughter became viral. Thousands and millions of copies and versions of this video will keep on circulating the internet as long as the internet exists. As long as the internet exists, as it is now. When asked how this could happen, Facebook declared that it was a failure of their AI filter, artificial intelligence filter. I want to repeat those two words, artificial and intelligence. Put them together. I call this Algonaissance. Thank you.
I'm just going to persuade Alex to read at least one of his poems for us. Okay, let's find. Where the heck you are? I guess page 35.
Well, since my speech was long, I'll choose a couple of short poems. Flight time. My suitcase is well weathered. My travel clothes are unkempt. My wallet is empty. Yet wherever I go, I take with me this perfect randomness of our life before departures were invented, when all used to be just about arriving together, anywhere really. And another one, 2 of 0. You danced with me when light had no shadow, and time had not started, but it was rotting inside. So inseparable are we in wanting infinitely elastic shapes. Yet you won't take this fruit from my hand, because it's been bitten just once. Thank you.
Alex, please stay with us. And Alex Jr., where are you? Can you please come here?
Sure.
We have